What is the new moon, and why is it invisible? Welcome back, everyone, and hi there to you if you're new here. How appropriate a greeting, since we're going to talk about the new moon in this piece in a new way, and in a way you've never seen before. Also, just like the new moon. So let's jump back into our journey of sailing the celestial sea and take a new look at the new moon. It's a new way overall to look at things in the sky above our heads that we call alternative astronomy around here. This is a different perspective than the usual one that you're given when looking more into things like the phases of the moon, like we're doing here. Normally, you're going to find images like this that accompany an explanation about it that uses the heliocentric model of the universe that we've all been taught about in schools and had heavily reinforced by various forms of media and entertainment throughout our lives. We take a different approach that requires nothing more than the knowledge you learn here that you can practically apply right here in the quote-unquote real world, right here on the ground. No traveling to space. You don't even need a telescope. Just your own two eyes and your curious mind applying this knowledge. This is an image of something that we've given the nickname the real oracle or the real all-seeing eye in the sky to. It's a special area in the sky found by facing south. You find south by turning your body until your left side faces the direction that the sun rises where you are, and your right side is facing where the sun sets. This gives you the view of everything that travels along this arc of the ecliptic and where that crosses the north-south meridian line. Although these are imaginary lines in the sky, this helps orient us where to look. Everything that rises in the east and sets in the west along this narrow band in the sky called the arc of the ecliptic that crosses the north-south meridian line, includes the sun, our moon that we're looking at here, in addition to all the known planets and all 12 constellations of the zodiac made most famous by astrology. In other words, this is where most of the big celestial action occurs in the sky, and it's just one of the reasons why we've nicknamed it the real oracle or the real all-seeing eye. Now, when most of us think about the moon, we're automatically associating the moon with the night sky, right? But when we're talking about the new moon specifically, we have to go looking for it in the daytime sky where it is. But you won't be able to see it there because it's invisible. Allow me to show you how that is. We're looking at an image of what's going on in the real oracle or the real all-seeing eye in the sky from the perspective of someone who's looking up at it from the northern hemisphere. Now, the first new moon of this year, 2022, when I'm making this video, occurs on January 2nd. This image shows us the daytime sky at noon, and you can see the sun is lighting up the daytime sky just like we'd expect, but that little black spot next to the sun in this image, that's the new moon. The reason why you can't see the new moon and why it's represented by this little black spot is because, as you can tell by the image here, the sun and the moon are so close together at this particular phase of the moon that the sun's light is too bright to see the moon at all. Notice in the same image of the daytime sky, you can also see the star constellations represented there. But just like the new moon, you can't see those star constellations in the sky either, for the same reason. The sun's light occults or hides them from our eyes, making them invisible, although in reality, they are still there. Now, many of our ancient ancestors encoded this type of knowledge into epic stories that some of us today call mythology and others call religions. But most of it was kept hidden or occulted from our comprehension in a similar way to the new moon being occulted by the bright light of the sun. Some ancient mythology, like the stories that come from ancient Egypt, for example, specifically in the epic mythology of Horus. And we get much deeper into decoding things like the mythology of Horus from ancient Egypt in our private videos. But what we can talk about here is that the epic mythology of Horus includes an encoded story within it about having vision lost and then restored, that we can now decode from our discoveries is referencing the phases of the moon from new to full and then back again, when the sun and the moon are reunited during the new moon phase that you're looking at here. This happens every month, or month, since moon is where the word month comes from. The moon is renewed or restored in that brief 2.5 day time frame by the light of the sun, where the moon is traveling so close to the light of the sun, she becomes invisible, before she's then going to be made visible again as she travels further away from the sun and will be seen as a thin crescent during the very beginning of the sunset twilight again. We'll be looking much more into the phases of the moon here in our future video pieces, and much more into the stars, the sun, the planets too. Some of the information from this piece comes from our book Moondays 2022. This includes a Monday start of the week monthly lunisolar planner and calendar, and also we're tracking the phases of the moon in that book using monthly sky maps. If you're watching this beyond 2022, you can check the links down in the description box for those future years' books as well. If you want to learn more about our Go at Your Own Pace Homeschool for Grown-Ups free beginner course in alternative astronomy, you can check out our many other videos here on our channel or visit starsnearme.com for more. Including, you can check out our shop where you can also find the Happy Moonday design featured in this piece. Thanks for your time and your support, and until next time, stay lit and be well.